Hey guys, welcome to the Sittin Southern podcast where we love salt, light, and a little country spice. And today I'm super excited to be talking with Miss Kay from MC Farms. And if you guys don't know who this is, you're going to here in a minute. They have a really awesome story for her and her husband, specifically on, I think the way Mom put it was, we were going to talk about bread that keeps you healthy and bread that gives you life.
Yes.
So they're all about homemade bread and things of that nature. Jellies, jams,
All things
whole
homemade.
range of that's right, a whole range of things, but faith-based. Believers, devout believers in their own right. So we're going to get to talk to her a little bit and share a little bit of her story with you guys. If you haven't already, make sure I'm going to link them below. So if you want to go purchase some of their products, if you want to be able to get in contact with them, I'm going to put all their information below. Make sure you reach out to them. It's a really good business and family owned and operated, faith-based, just like Saved in Southern is. So first off, thank you for coming on and talking with us.
Well, thank you for coming out to the farm. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. Give us an introduction to you and your a bit of your journey into faith, if you will, and more specifically, how MC Farms kind of came to be.
Okay. I met Mark in 1988. He was a blind date, and we actually did not like each other on our first
goodness.
date. We talked on the phone for a couple of weeks before we went on our date. We went on our date, and I thought, well, this was horrible.
Oh, no.
3 weeks later, he called me back. And I don't know what possessed him or me to try on another date.
Okay.
Within 5 months, we were engaged to be married. So it was just
If
in
God
God's
has a plan,
time.
God's got a plan.
He had a plan for us.
That's right.
So we got married in 1989, and we actually started construction on our house a week before the wedding. And they say if you can build a house together, that you can survive anything.
And that's the house we're sitting in,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
How
It's
about
had
that?
several remodels, but we're in the house that we built in '89 and raised our son Chance in.
How about that?
And it's just home. I don't know how else to describe it except it's home. We want anyone that comes here to certainly get a meal, have good conversation, know that they're in a place where the Lord resides. We want everyone to feel the presence of the Lord and feel the Lord's peace here.
And I think that's what we're called to have as home.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a safe place. And we were actually talking about before we even started recording, funny enough, that this house has gone through some changes.
Yes.
In terms of where it started and where you guys are at now. There's a couple of walls I understand got taken out to make the kitchen and things of that nature.
We needed a bigger dining room for all the people that we like to feed.
There you go.
Sunday dinners. For several years, every Sunday, all the family, extended family, friends that have become family, just honoring that tradition that my mother had all of my life. After church, we meet for Sunday dinner. And
Amen.
So we needed a bigger space.
Well, and I'm sure that involved in one or two of those family dinners was some of this bread y'all make.
Once I really embraced making whole grain bread, always having the dinner rolls or the hamburger buns.
There you go.
Or garlic toast, garlic rolls. Yeah.
Man, I know we actually, you guys were gracious enough to let our church, for those of you Unity Point folks who are watching, you guys were gracious enough to let us use a large portion of the beautiful place y'all have out here to do a men's event.
Yes.
And I think, if I'm not wrong, we had some of that homemade bread on those hamburgers.
You had a hamburger and hot dog buns.
That was so extremely good.
I eventually had started making bread and selling to friends and family from the farm, but just on a small scale. Chance did farmer's market when he was in high school, and I would make the bread and he would sell it at farmer's market. But I wasn't having that bread 3 times a day in my house because it was a carb. So fast forward to 2023, Mark and I went to a homestead festival in Tennessee.
Okay.
And there were some phenomenal speakers there that were talking about growing your own chicken, processing your own beef, eating grains that are organic, and all of the health dangers if you're not eating that way, the way things are grown commercially now, and then the things that you buy in the store having ingredients that you can't pronounce.
There's stuff in there I don't even want to know about.
No, the preservatives, the additives, and how to make a loaf of bread last 3 weeks on a shelf or whatever.
That's right.
And after that festival, we just realized how we had bought into the American way of eating. My husband is a butcher by trade, and we never processed our own cattle. We've been raising cattle. My dad raised cattle. Mark took over the cattle business when my dad was no longer able to raise cows. We bought the cattle from my dad, and
sort of a generational thing.
Generational thing, yes.
Okay.
And we, after that festival, we were thinking, why are we not processing our own beef? I mean, Mark was bringing our steaks and hamburger home from the grocery store at a very good price. So it wasn't the price, it was just convenience. And I think that's where a lot of America is today, is eating, you're getting your food out of convenience. And I know people are busy with children, schedules, ball, all the commitments.
Exactly.
Everyone working outside the home. And we just decided we wanted to take a step back and look at the way we're eating. And we started processing our own beef.
Right.
It was good. It was really good. It was different than what we were getting in the store.
Right.
And we decided, you know what, this could be a good little retirement job for us.
Yeah.
Mark has retired. I am thinking about it. I'm not getting any younger. And we were thinking, when we retire, we don't want to just sit down and do nothing. How can we use the farm to bless other people?
Right.
And we processed a cow last year, and we posted it on Facebook. We don't have a website, but we have Facebook, and we have a lot of friends on Facebook.
And that's one of the things we're going to get into, is how you guys can get involved in this too. So I'm glad we get into that.
Yes. So we posted on Facebook that we had processed beef, and our pastures don't have glyphosate sprayed on it.
Right.
We don't give our cows hormones. If you're interested in buying some fresh pasture-raised beef, we've got it available. And it sold like crazy. We were out in no time. So we had another cow that was ready to be processed. And we did a second one, and then we did a third. And in the middle of all this, we're thinking, we're always thinking in the back of our mind, retirement years. How are we going to grow the farm and share the farm? And at the first of this year, I told my husband, I think I want to start teaching classes, because I have a heart for the younger generation. We have several friends with daughters that are in their 20s and early 30s, and I am seeing this younger generation hungry to raise their babies at home and feed their babies real food and cook homemade meals. It's not a dying art. It has almost died, but it's not dead yet.
Well, we live in a world that's, like you said, the key word is convenience, and that's where, unfortunately, thankfully, my wife is a really good cook. She follows after my mother, especially too. And we were just talking about this, because we've been talking about being able to come and do this with you guys for a while, and she too is very heavily, honestly, concerned about that we live in a world where people are more, speaking of Sunday afternoon meals, they're more likely to go to McDonald's or to go to Burger King, and grab a burger there. But then you see the health issues down the road. You see and not to get on not to cause a problem, but you see kind of the laziness factor in a way that causes. And so, these classes, because I kind of want to get a little more into that as well, to let people know, especially if you're local, what's important about that. What can they learn about this, whether it's making it, understanding, maybe the science or the understanding behind it with what you're doing with the ingredients. What's so important about getting involved in these classes to give their kids a bit of a better meal?
Yes. So the first of this year, when I was thinking about classes that I would want to offer, just as an older woman teaching the younger woman, but not literally, because I have a lot of friends and peers that are also coming to the classes. But it's multi-generational for my classes.
Wow.
So I go back to Brett Becker's in February and retook her Getting Started class, her Sue Becker's Getting Started class.
Right.
And if you haven't listened to Sue Becker's podcast, I encourage everyone to listen to Sue Becker. She is a food science major, and she has been studying wheat, the whole grain, the health benefits since the early 1990s.
Wow.
And Sue Becker just started a podcast 2 years ago called Sue's Healthy Minutes. So you can open your podcast app and open up Sue Becker and learn way more than I can ever cover in a bread class. But I did go back and take Sue's class in February because I just wanted to refresh my memory.
Right.
Still not thinking about eating bread 3 times a day.
Really?
So I go to the class, and it rocked my world. It was a 3-hour class, and I think that everything is in God's timing, and I was ready to hear what I missed 23 years ago.
Right.
And that is God created wheat, and He created all the vitamins and nutrients that are in the wheat kernel. The wheat flour, the flour industry was ruined in the early 1900s when commercial flour was invented for convenience.
See, now I'm learning stuff.
Yes, the bran and the germ has been stripped out, and you're left with the endosperm. And a lot of diseases started taking place in the country in the early 1900s. And the doctors finally figured out it was the bread and the lack of the nutrients because of the processed flour.
Right.
And it created a lot of diseases. So the government mandated that the bread industry put vitamins and nutrients back into the flour.
Right.
And they did, but it was synthetic additives
Whole
and
bunch
not as
different
much
version than what.
a different version, and not as much
Right.
as that you get in the whole grain when you mill your wheat.
That's right.
Okay, so fast forward to this class, and I come home from just being overrun with information overload. I was shocked, and I told Mark I owed him an apology. I said, I've been withholding health from you. He said, what do you mean? I said, we're supposed to eat this bread 3 times a day. He's like, you're kidding. I'm like, no, you can have it 3 times a day.
You guys have been in business for quite a while now. There's got to be some positive feedback and testimonials you guys have gotten from some of your customers.
Yes. So I had my first bread class in March, and it was a huge success. Everyone had a good time. I fed them muffins. They had some bread and some olive oil with some spices in it. They had sandwiches. They had cookies. Just wanted everyone to have a full experience of all the possibilities of food cooked with whole grains, which is anything that you're going to put flour in. You can use freshly milled wheat. And we've had some, so bread classes have been every month since March of this year. And that's not very long to have testimonies already happening. But I got a message the other day from a young lady that had high cholesterol.
Yeah.
2 months after beginning her bread journey, which eating bread on a regular basis more than once a day, her cholesterol has already dropped 22 points.
Wow.
Mark had a wart on his pinky from childhood. It's gone now. We've actually watched it die from the time he was allowed to start eating bread 3 times a day.
Right.
Within a week or 2, he noticed a change on the wart on his pinky. And it took about 2 weeks, but we watched that wart slowly die off of his finger and not come back. I have another friend, her son had warts on his hands, and he started eating the bread. Within 2 weeks, his warts were gone. Have other customers that, without giving too much TMI, they're more regular.
Right.
That is not an issue for them now. Their daily regularity, they feel so much better.
It's kind of crazy to think that just eating something that's more healthy with healthier ingredients could actually help your health.
That's right. It is amazing. Have a relative that her blood sugar dropped from 140 to the 90s
No joke.
within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Her blood sugar started dropping, and
Right.
I'm not sure about her A1C yet because
Sure.
that's something that's a historical, I think every 3 months you get it checked or something.
Right.
But blood sugar stability, energy, it's amazing the energy level that you can have without relying on energy drinks.
Right.
If you're just eating the bread, your blood sugars are going to be stable throughout the day, and you're going to have more energy and just feel
Right.
better, overall feel better. And we're just excited to share that with everyone that will listen. I know there's probably some in our circle that are tired of hearing about the bread because
It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they want to hear more
well,
about
they
it.
want to hear more, yes. It's exciting because I do regret the 23 years that I didn't allow Mark to have the bread 3 times a day, and I didn't have it 3 times a day. But it's food freedom. It is freedom from guilt of eating carbs
There you go.
because it's a complex carb. That's what gives you your energy, and you're getting vitamins and nutrients. All of your B vitamins, except for one, is in the bread.
Right.
100% of your E vitamin that you need is in one slice of bread. And then you're going to get your protein, not your daily amount of protein, but you're
Right.
definitely getting protein in bread when it's freshly milled. And we are excited to offer in our farm store organic, hard red, hard white, and soft white wheat.
There you go.
We will also provide the 5-gallon buckets and gamma seals to store your wheat.
Okay.
And I didn't mention this, Caleb. Wheat is a sustainable food source that doesn't spoil when kept in dry, airtight conditions.
Okay.
I can have a bucket of grain stored in the house, in the closet, as long as it's got that gamma seal. I can pull that bucket of wheat out in a year and it's still just as good and has all the vitamins and nutrients.
Really?
You can plant it in your garden and grow wheat.
It's got multiple different. There's multiple different levels to that situation. Then.
Yes.
You're not just buying something out of a store. You're buying
And
something
it's not
that
gonna
could actually
spoil.
continue going forward for you if you decided to go and plant or whatever that may be.
Yes, you could. Now, different wheats are better grown in different climates. In the South, the soft
Sure.
white wheat is going to perform better than a hard wheat. But it's sustainable. It's life-sustaining.
Right.
I mean, we all need our water. You've got to have water to live, but you could literally live on the bread from freshly milled flour if the need arose.
Gotcha.
And it's storable for prepping. If you wanted to, store up grains for the just-in-case times,
Yeah.
you could do it and have something that would be nutritious for you as well. But we are opening a farm store within the next few weeks here on the farm, separate from our little shop that I've got going in the side entrance of the house.
Right.
And we'll have the grains, like I mentioned. We'll also have the buckets, the gamma seals. We have got, if you want to get the bread already made, the bread, muffins, cookie dough made from the freshly milled. Did you know you can have cookies out of fresh milled
but
wheat?
that piqued my interest.
Yes, you can have cookies.
I'm a big cookie lover. And one question I have too, and I think this is kind of something even me and my wife talked about is, you go from sometimes in the store one brand to another, whether it's like your value brand or the better known ones, and the taste kind of changes. What should people be expecting, if at all? Is there a taste change that you kind of got to get used to when you start eating that?
If you're eating white bread, there is going to be a difference.
Okay.
I do a blend of hard red and hard white. That's not going to give you as nutty of a taste as a bread that's made with 100% hard red. There's nothing wrong with 100% hard red. I just, for a taste preference, it's a little milder, the one I make, and there's not many ingredients in my bread. It's got the freshly milled flour. It's got water, honey, extra virgin olive oil. It's got instant yeast, salt, and lecithin.
Big honey fan. Huge honey fan.
Well, and it's not overly sweet. You'll have some in just a minute, and
I'm
you'll
excited
see.
for that too.
In addition to the bread products that we're offering, I make homemade jams and jellies. I make them in small batches in my favorite copper kettle on the stove, and It's all natural, homemade jams and jellies. No, when I say all natural, let me scratch that. The jelly has Sure Gel in it.
Sure.
I can't make it without the Sure Gel.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're going to get your fruit, your sugar.
As close to it as you can
As
get.
close as you can
There
get.
you go.
But fresh local produce, fruits used
Right.
in my jellies and jams. And then we are offering our pasture-raised beef. We have everything
sounds
from
good.
ground beef to steak to brisket. Mark has brisket now. We haven't offered brisket before, but we've got some brisket available.
I can't even think of anything. I mean, you start talking about bread, and that sounds good. And then you start talking about cookies, and that sounds even better. But then you start talking about just healthy, farm-raised beef and brisket. I mean, I'm hungry. I just ate an hour ago.
I know, and we're out of okra. I can't fry you any okra. Not in seed oil. We're not fried in seed oil.
Right.
But literally, we love hosting farm-to-table dinners, and we are so thankful that God has blessed us with this farm.
Right.
And we want to honor God in all that we do. And He has truly blessed the farm. He's blessing our harvest. He's blessing our plans.
Right.
That we pray every day that our plans align with God and His plans for us.
That's right. And I think that, we talked a little bit the day that we had the Miz event on your porch about kind of where you guys are at with your heart of ministry.
Yes.
We got to pay the bills. Obviously, when you have a business, you got to pay the bills. That's a part of it. Yes. But past the finances, there's just something different when, when you're looking at a spreadsheet and you see all the stuff you got to pay off. I mean, yeah, we got to make that happen. But when you're backed by wanting to spread God's word through the conversations and wanting to be able to use those, whether they're buying it from you or reaching out for a class, using that opportunity to just simply be a projection of God. And that doesn't have to be a 30-minute conversation about salvation. Now, those products might be a conversation starter for that, which is one of our things with SNS, is that what we produce and what we put in people's hands, I think you would agree, is something to help them one way or another, but hopefully it's a conversation starter.
It is.
And I know, there's a lot of other stories that me and you talked about off camera of sometimes that's already happened for you guys. And I think that's, the word talks about that our body's a temple. And so what you guys do is, at least the way I see it, what you guys do is a direct definer of that, of, hey, you want to live more healthy, you want to have more energy, you want to take care of the body that God's given you. There's no real better way to do that. And I think if you guys are interested in checking them out, which you should, especially if you're in this area, which we're around Oxford, right? Anniston, Oxford?
We are 10 minutes from Oxford, 10 minutes from Anniston,
there you go.
10 minutes to Heflin. We're just off of I-20. If you're traveling from Atlanta to Birmingham, we're 5 minutes from the interstate.
So in other words, she's pretty, their entire, deal here is pretty close to a lot of the main areas that you guys are probably going to be watching from. So if you're anywhere around White Plains, Oxford, Anniston, make sure to check them out. Like I said, we're going to have all of their stuff linked below, as well as maybe a short list of some of the things they offer in case you guys are interested in some of what we talked about here during the episode, so you can go check it out. Reach out to them and get involved with her in some of her classes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being able to learn about making healthier food. It's not just about having a skill. It's about creating health and being able to create more energy and happiness in life. I mean, that's just it. We're not going to go saying extend your life, because we can't say that.
No, I can't guarantee that you're going to live a long, long, healthy life, because I haven't gotten there yet.
That's right.
But I want to be the best me.
That's right.
For many more years to come, to do what God has us to do.
That's exactly right. And that's what we're all called to be at the end of the day, because you guys know the way that we end all of our content is just to reach back to Scripture. And if you want to support a brand, a growing company that wants to help you with your health, they want to give you better options, they don't want you to sit there eating McDonald's every time you have a chance, and are going to kind of challenge you to learn something, to be able to gain some knowledge about how to help your family and how to help yourself with your health and energy, but also support something that's faith-backed, that is Christian-owned and operated, And in one way or another, you're gonna come and you're gonna get a handshake and a hug from a couple that just cares about you. I mean, that's just it at the end of the day. So I hope you guys check them out. We'll have all that stuff linked below, including their Facebook page, so you can get directly in contact with them. But thank you so much for just letting me come and enjoy some time with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoyed the conversations.
Absolutely. Guys, thank y'all so much for another episode. We will be uploading another one actually coming up pretty soon. We're going to be going to Mobile to be able to talk to the Rooted Pursuit guys. That's going to be a whole other episode, and we're going to be super excited to talk to yet another faith-based company that's using the outdoors, funny enough, and turkey hunting specifically, to get men, women of all ages and ranges closer to God and have conversations for their conversation starter. But make sure that you guys subscribe, comment down below what you think about it, maybe comment something as an encouragement for MC Farms, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure that no matter what you do, show somebody some salt, light, and a little country spice.